The Weight of the Aisle, Amy Slaton's Wedding Countdown. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For 1,000 pounds sister latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The countdown isn't measured in days on a glossy planner or marked by a digital timer on a phone screen. For Amy Slaton, it's etched in the slow, deliberate rhythm of her breathing as she sits on the edge of her bed, the soft fabric of her ivory satin robe pooling around her. It's in the faint, persistent ache in her knees after a long walk around the quiet neighborhood, a walk taken not for exercise, but for the simple, profound act of moving forward. It's in the way her fingers trace the cool, smooth surface of the diamond solitaire on her left hand, a promise made, a future chosen. In less than 48 hours, Amy Slaton, the woman once defined by her weight, her struggles, and her complex, often volatile bond with her twin sister Tammy, will walk down an aisle. She will become Amy Halterman. And the single most consuming question hanging over her meticulously planned, deeply personal celebration isn't about the flowers, the cake, or even the weather. It's a silent, echoing plea. Will Tammy be there? The journey to this moment has been anything but linear. Amy's life, documented for years on the reality show 1000 LB Sisters, has been a public spectacle of immense physical and emotional weight. Her relationship with Tammy, forged in the crucible of shared childhood trauma, mutual dependence, and fierce, often destructive loyalty, has been the show's volatile core. They were a unit, Amy and Tammy, their identities intertwined like the roots of ancient struggling trees. Amy's decision to pursue weight loss surgery, to reclaim her health and her life, was a seismic shift. It wasn't just about shedding pounds. It was about shedding the suffocating dynamic that had defined her existence for decades. Choosing to marry Michael Halterman, a man who saw her the woman beneath the layers, the one with a dry wit, a surprising resilience, and a deep capacity for love, felt like the ultimate affirmation of that new self. Yet, stepping into this new chapter inevitably meant stepping away from the old one, and Tammy, still grappling with her own health battles and the perceived abandonment, has been left standing in the dust. The preparations have been a careful dance of joy and anxiety. Amy's small Kentucky home, usually a haven of quiet routine since her move away from the shared family property, has transformed into a temporary command center. Boxes of ivory lace, delicate pearl buttons, and tissue paper nestle beside practical items like her specialized bariatric vitamins and the sturdy, supportive shoes she'll wear for the ceremony. Her planner is filled with vendor confirmations, seating charts, and gentle reminders for hydration and rest. Michael, steady and supportive, handles logistics with quiet efficiency, his presence a calming counterpoint to the storm of emotions swirling within Amy. He understands the significance of Tammy's potential absence not just for Amy, but for the family narrative they are trying to build. He's seen the flicker of pain in Amy's eyes when she scrolls through old photos, the way her voice tightens slightly when she mentions her sister's name. The family dynamic is a fragile ecosystem. Their mother, Linda, caught perpetually in the middle, oscillates between hopeful optimism and weary resignation. She texts Amy daily with updates that are often vague. Talk to Tammy, she's thinking about it, or she's having a rough day, honey, but she loves you. Linda's pleas for reconciliation, for Tammy to set aside her hurt and be there for her sister's big day, seem to bounce off Tammy's defensive walls. Tammy's own life is a complex tapestry of medical appointments, financial struggles, and the isolating reality of her size. Her social media, once a constant stream of updates often featuring Amy, has grown quieter, more introspective, sometimes tinged with a palpable sense of loss and resentment. The public nature of their lives adds another layer of pressure. Fans speculate endlessly online, dissecting every cryptic post, every absence from a pre-wedding event. The hashtag #WillTammy come trends sporadically, a digital manifestation of the very real tension hanging over Amy's happiness. Amy tries to compartmentalize. She focuses on the tangible, the perfect shade of blush for her bouquet, peonies and garden roses, soft and romantic. The playlist for the reception, a mix of classic country and soulful ballads that make her feel seen, the vows she's painstakingly written in her looping script. She practices walking in her custom-made wedding shoes, designed for maximum support and comfort, taking slow, deliberate steps across her living room rug. Each step is a declaration. I am doing this. I am moving forward. She visualizes the aisle not the grand, sweeping kind from fairy tales, but a simple path in a sun-dappled garden venue she chose for its intimacy and accessibility. She pictures Michael waiting for her, his eyes crinkling at the corners with that familiar, reassuring smile. She pictures her nieces and nephews, dressed in miniature finery, scattering petals. She pictures her mother, likely crying happy tears. But the space where Tammy should stand right beside her as maid of honor, as she always imagined, as they always imagined for each other, remains stubbornly, achingly empty in her mind's eye. The hurt Tammy feels is real, even if Amy struggles to fully comprehend its depth from her new vantage point. To Tammy, Amy's transformation, her move, her engagement, and now her wedding can feel like a rejection of their shared history, a rejection of her. The bond they had, however dysfunctional, was their anchor in a turbulent world. Amy finding stability, love, and health outside of that dyad threatens Tammy's sense of identity and security. Attending the wedding might feel like endorsing a path Tammy hasn't been able to take, a celebration of a life she feels excluded from. Her silence, her potential absence, is her only language of protest, a way to say, you left me behind, yet comma beneath the anger. There's likely a profound grief for the sister she feels she's losing, grief for the future they once envisioned together, even if that future was built on shared struggle. Amy knows this, intellectually. She's spent countless therapy sessions unpacking the codependency, the enabling, the toxic patterns. She knows setting boundaries, choosing her own health and happiness, is not betrayal, but necessary survival. Logically, she understands Tammy's pain, but logic doesn't soothe the raw, primal ache in her heart when she looks at the beautiful, empty space on her wedding invitation reserved for maid of honor. It doesn't quiet the childhood memory of Tammy holding her hand during a thunderstorm, or the countless nights they whispered secrets in the dark, their twin connection a lifeline. That connection, however fractured, is woven into the very fabric of who she is. To walk down the aisle without Tammy witnessing it, without Tammy's hand to squeeze for courage, feels like a piece of her soul will be missing on the day she's supposed to feel most whole. The final 24 hours are a blur of controlled chaos and quiet intensity. The dress, a masterpiece of structure and softness designed to support and celebrate her body, arrives. Amy stands before the full-length mirror, tears welling as she sees not just the bride, but the woman who fought her way here. She sees the strength in her posture, the light in her eyes that wasn't there years ago. She sees Michael's love reflected in her own hopeful expression. But the reflection also shows the empty space beside her. She calls Tammy. Again. The phone rings and goes to voicemail. Amy leaves a message, her voice thick but steady. Tammy, it's me. Tomorrow's the day. I just wanted you to know how much it would mean to me if you were there here. Not for the cameras, not for anyone else. Just for us. I love you, sister. Always have, always will. Please, just come." She hangs up, the silence in the room suddenly deafening. The rehearsal dinner is bittersweet. Family and close friends gather, laughter and toasts filling the air. Michael's family embraces Amy warmly, their acceptance a balm. Linda is there, trying valiantly to be cheerful, but her eyes keep darting towards the door, a silent vigil for the daughter who isn't coming. Amy smiles, makes small talk, thanks everyone for being there. She feels the love, truly feels it, but it's underscored by a persistent, hollow note. She catches her mother's eye across the room, and the shared look speaks volumes. She's not coming, is she? Linda gives a tiny, almost imperceptible shake of her head, her lips pressed into a thin line of disappointment. Amy takes a deep breath, squares her shoulders, and forces another smile. She won't let the absence ruin this. She can't. The night before the wedding is quiet. Amy soaks in a warm bath infused with lavender, trying to release the tension coiled in her muscles. She reads her vows one last time, the words feeling both sacred and terrifyingly vulnerable. She thinks about the life she's building with Michael, the quiet mornings, the shared jokes, the unwavering support, the simple joy of being loved for exactly who she is now. She thinks about the daughter she hopes to have one day, the legacy of strength and self-love she wants to pass on. This wedding isn't just a party, it's the cornerstone of that future. Tammy's absence, while a deep wound, cannot be allowed to undermine its foundation. Amy has fought too hard, come too far to let the ghost of the past overshadow the promise of tomorrow. Dawn breaks on the wedding day, pale and hopeful. The stylist arrives, carefully working Amy's hair into an elegant updo that showcases her face. The makeup artist applies subtle enhancing touches, highlighting Amy's eyes, the curve of her smile. There's a quiet focus in the room, a sense of sacred preparation. Amy slips into her dress, the satin whispering against her skin. She looks at herself again. The bride is radiant, confident, beautiful in a way that transcends the dress. It's the light of self-possession shining through. She takes Michael's hand when he comes to see her before the ceremony, his eyes wide with awe and love. "You look incredible, Amy. Absolutely incredible." The simple sincerity of it brings fresh tears to her eyes, but they are tears of pure, unadulterated joy. As the guests begin to arrive and take their seats in the garden, Amy waits in a small, shaded alcove just off the ceremony path. She hears the gentle murmur of voices, the soft strains of the string quartet tuning up. She takes slow, deep breaths, centering herself. Her mother appears, eyes red-rimmed but smiling bravely. She smooths Amy's veil, her touch trembling slightly. "You're so beautiful, baby girl," Linda whispers, her voice thick. "So proud of you." Amy hugs her tightly, drawing strength from the familiar embrace. Then, Linda's gaze flicks past Amy towards the entrance to the alcove. Her expression shifts, a complex mix of shock, hope, and profound relief washing over her face. Amy turns. Standing there, leaning heavily on a walker, her own face pale but set with determination, is Tammy. She's dressed simply but carefully in a soft blue dress, her hair neatly styled. She looks exhausted, vulnerable, and utterly present. There are no words at first, just the shared history, the years of love and pain, the unspoken fears, and the desperate, fragile hope hanging thick in the air between them. Tammy's eyes, usually guarded or angry, are wide with emotion, fixed on her sister in her wedding gown. Amy's breath catches. The carefully constructed walls of compartmentalization, the practiced calm, the resolve to proceed regardless, they all crumble in an instant. A sob escapes her, raw and unfiltered. She takes a step forward, then another, her own movements careful but urgent. Tammy meets her halfway, abandoning the walker for a moment, and they crash into each other's arms. It's not the easy, carefree hug of childhood. It's awkward, constrained by their sizes and the weight of everything unsaid, but it's fiercely real. Tears stream down both their faces, tears of relief, of sorrow, of a love that, however battered, has never truly died. "I'm here, Amy," Tammy whispers hoarsely into her sister's shoulder, her voice cracking. I couldn't miss it. Not really." Amy holds her tighter, burying her face in Tammy's hair, the familiar scent a sudden, overwhelming comfort. "I'm so glad," she chokes out. "So glad you're here, Dot, in that embrace." Amidst the tears and the shaky breaths, a silent understanding passes between them. It doesn't erase the past conflicts, the surgeries, the distance, the hurtful words. It doesn't magically fix Tammy's struggles or erase the complexities of their bond. But it acknowledges the fundamental truth. They are sisters, twins, bound by blood and a history only they share. Tammy's presence isn't an endorsement of everything Amy has done, nor is it a surrender of her own pain. It's simply a choice in this